Welcome back to ARC Salt Lake here at 8:30, where we cover authentic, relevant, and community stories. And we're here with Ali Vallarta, and she's a host of CityCast Salt Lake.
For those who don't know, CityCast is a hyper-local podcast focusing on all things Salt Lake, and they get it out into Utah as well. So, Ali, thanks for being here.
So good to be here. Good morning.
This is my daily walk podcast. I say that all the time.
I love it. We keep you moving.
Okay, so you've been talking about a lot of things on the show lately. Let's talk about this concept of a Salt Lake City nightmare.
Yes.
What is that?
This was our show this morning. If you go to saltlake.citycast.fm, you can listen to the whole episode. This is something that is like a big thing in European cities. It's taking off globally, and it's now happening in 16 U.S. cities. And so we explored what that idea could mean for Salt Lake City, which is basically, having a nightmare. If you think of our city's mayor as the head of daytime operations, the nightmare is sort of in charge of laying a vision for everything that happens after close of business. And this feels deeply relevant to me because we just had two beloved bars on Main Street close in downtown Salt Lake City. We've got this whole sports and entertainment district coming together. We've got little neighborhoods that are where we've got places like Water Witch nominated for James Beard Awards. Like there's a lot happening after dark in this city. And so does there need to be an office for the nighttime, right? And one of the things that I thought was really interesting we learned from our guest, who is actually in Berlin, famous for their nightlife, is that it's really important to them as advocates of nightmare offices that nightlife in a city doesn't center drinking. That actually, it's not about drinking. It can be night markets, night festivals, dry dance floors, like what makes a good dance floor, what makes people want to dance. So thinking about even how to get families downtown at night.
Basically how to stimulate growth and have a vibrant city, basically, correct?
Exactly. And I think also like anything, there's an economic case to be made, right? Like if you look at a city like Berlin, people, especially remote workers, want to live there. They're choosing places they want to live for the cultural vibrancy that it offers. And so offering cultural vibrancy to young people can attract a lot of workers to your city. And there are certainly a lot of sectors where we're looking to hire and inspire.
Anyone brought up that idea in Salt Lake other than you?
I don't know. I mean, full disclosure, I'd love to be the nightmare. As you know,
I would vote for you.
Yes.
As you know, I visited every bar in the county in 2023, so I'm ready if Salt Lake City decides they want to, make a budget amendment.
Okay. All right, City Council is voting to appropriate some funding for public restrooms.
Yeah, speaking of budget amendments. So this is very important to me as well because something about me that I feel like you know this, Lincoln. You're about to learn this, Ron. I am a single issue public bathroom voter. There is truly only ever one thing on my mind. I took these photos because I'm such an enthusiast of restrooms. The one thing that's always on my mind is where can I pee next? And in this city, there aren't a lot of options. Like if you're on a run or you're downtown, you're often going to find a lot of park restrooms are closed. There have been issues with trying to keep up with keeping them open, et cetera, in the city. So the City Council is now exploring finding some funding for a big study on, A, how we can expand public restroom access across Salt Lake City parks, and then B, looking at creative solutions in other cities to expand public restroom use. And to be clear, this isn't just about you and me on Main Street and oh, can I use your bathroom to a business owner? This is about making sure people who are unsheltered have access to places to go to the restroom. That's a hygienic thing, public health issue. We're also going to host the Olympics again. Yeah. Where are all those people going to pee? Yeah.
Well, they'll bring in all the honey buckets.
Yeah, I mean, it really is an important issue, though. How many times do you go into a business and it says no public restrooms available?
Yep.
If you have something happening downtown, where are people supposed to go? And like you said, in Liberty Park, in the winter, all the bathrooms are
they
closed.
Close them down.
They're closed,
so they don't freeze.
And that's also a misnomer. I'm currently on a journey to visit every park in the county now, and people use our parks in the winter. You go down to a park on a Saturday morning, even on a snowy day, there's people running around. That's a public space. So No, I really think what elevates a city from being a great city to an exceptional city is public bathrooms.
When you become night mayor, this will be your platform, basically, right?
That'll be
Czar
that'll be
of
your top priority.
the night and the restroom. Yep.
Okay, let's talk about restaurants. We've had some closures and new openings.
Yeah, I know. This all feels connected, right? Okay, so saying farewell this month to the Garage on Beck. I actually went last night for a farewell drink. It was very sad. They, of course, rode out a fire a couple years ago, and I think it's been hard to get back on their feet. But if you've never been to the Garage on Beck, take advantage of going, I think, this May. It's like right there on 89 on Beck Street next to the refinery, which we're told Tesoro basically has bought that land and is going to usurp that. I think of it as like our roadhouse, our local roadhouse, you know? Like it's unlike any other bar we've got in this city. So they're going to be closing.
And it used to be a bar even before the Garage.
It did.
I mean, that's been a bar for decades, actually. So that is a pretty big loss.
It's a big loss.
Yeah.
It's a cultural institution, and worth noting, the owner has said everything inside this place is for sale. So if you're looking for some
bar
funky art, some reclaimed wood, like you can get in there. Saying farewell to the La Barba Coffee at the Gateway. They're not going to renew their lease. Also, if you're looking for a top-of-the-line espresso machine, everything in there is for sale. Wow. And then a few others. Yeah, Frankie and Essel's, home of a great breakfast sandwich. It just feels like the margins are so thin for these business owners.
Yeah, it's hard to make it. And a lot of coffee shops have popped up, and then some of them are thinning out a little bit, too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it feels like it parallels something that we also are seeing in this country as individuals, which is that if you have an emergency, which for a lot of these businesses seems to be a theme, there was a fire, there was a flood, it's hard to survive that emergency, and I think we all feel that.
Allie, thank you so much for coming in. If you want to hear about some of the openings, you do cover some of the openings in your podcast.
Lots of good news for you over at CityCast Salt Lake, too, I promise.
Bad news, so.
No.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, check it out.
Good to see you.
Allie, good seeing you. We'll see you next month.
Yes.